In fairy tales, beautiful princesses have fairy godmothers who grant wishes and make dreams come true. Students don't have fairy godmothers. You have something better. You have the University Career Center and all of our staff and all our resources to help you write your resume. My name is Donna Schrader, and I am an assistant director in the Career Center. I have decades of experience helping students with resumes, so I'll provide some basic information and tell you about some of our services. Let me wave my magic wand and tell you about the many things we hope you learn today. First, we can help you by phone, email, video, or in person. You can make an appointment to discuss your documents. We urge you to email your documents ahead of your appointment for a critique of your job search documents. Second, our goal is to teach you how to write your resume and other job search documents. We also want to make sure that you are aware of our document critique services. First steps first. We recommend that you begin with a blank Word document and create your own formatting. We urge you to be careful of templates from the internet or some other site. Templates have background formatting that is difficult to rearrange or change. Columns, text boxes, and tables can seem like a good idea when writing your resume, but they can be tricky when it's time to add information or rearrange sections to highlight what is most important for a particular position. Also, when you upload your resume to a website, it is probably being assessed by an applicant tracking system. These ATS systems may or may not recognize certain formatting elements. The University Career Center presents a webinar that explains applicant tracking systems that you might want to attend. I recommend using several of our online services that must be accessed through the Career Center website, such as Optimal Resume, Hire Red Raters, and the list of marketable skills on our website. I prefer Merriam-Webster as my go-to online dictionary, but you can use any reliable dictionary to find synonyms for overused action verbs. One of our many resources is Optimal Resume, where you can find examples of resume formats. Optimal Resume provides a great deal of information about resumes and the job search process. It can be accessed through the Career Center website and provides some very good examples of formats that you can download and make your own. Optimal Resume also provides lots of information on resumes, cover letters, and interviewing. Most resumes will be one page long. Everything on the resume must be important and relevant to your job search. If you have several different areas that you're exploring, you may have multiple versions of the resume aimed at each of these areas. It is important to have a balanced format, plenty of white space, and the most important information for your goal. Choose an easy-to-read font. Use all caps, small caps, lines, and bold to help draw the eye down the page and emphasize information that you want the prospective employer to pay attention to. Present your information in reverse chronological order in each section, listing the most recent activities first. In the education section, present your most recent degree first. In the experience section, present your most recent job or experience first. Remember, you may have multiple versions of your resume, a basic one for uploading to applicant tracking system software, and perhaps a more creative version for handing to people in your network and for prospective employers. Starting with the first section, we recommend that you do not put your name and contact information in the header because it will look different from the rest of the text in the electronic file, and the ATS might not read the information in the headers and footers. You may need to provide a phone number and an email address for the prospective employer. If you are graduating, you may want to include both your TTU email and your personal email. If you're seeking an internship, I strongly recommend that you use your TTU email on the resume because that email establishes you as a student and eligible for internships. You can add a personal website link if it is strictly professional. Generally, those people who need to show examples of previous work will have a web portfolio. Add a link to your LinkedIn account, as long as you have provided some information on LinkedIn. If you simply copied your resume into LinkedIn, then you won't score points for sending prospective employers to a site that doesn't give them additional information. You can add your current address, or you can add both current and permanent addresses. This may be necessary if you're in the middle of a move. Generally, however, you will only supply your current address. However, I recommend that you not include your physical address. For example, you would remove the house number, apartment number, and street name. List the city, state, and zip code, but do not include your physical address. I recommend this because most employers will no longer mail information to you. They will email or call to set up interviews. Also, having a physical address on a piece of paper that you send out without any assurance of privacy might be a safety issue. It is entirely your choice whether to include your physical address. Your next section, Education, includes the name of your degrees, date of graduation, minors, and GPA if appropriate. I recommend that you align the dates with the right margin using the right tab feature and present this information in 1 or 2 lines, 3 lines at the most. Space on a resume is limited because you generally have only 1 page to present your information, and you must get all the relevant details on that 1 page. So use your space wisely. Do not list all the time you were enrolled at Tech. List only the date of graduation. If you earned a degree from another college or university, add it to this section. If you have transfer credits that are equivalent to a minor in an area you want employers to know about, include that in this section too. Use a phrase such as coursework toward business degree, ABC College, Los Angeles, California, and add the dates that you attended. If you attended other institutions but did not earn a degree or have a need to add what you studied, you can leave that out of your education section. The next section should be experience. When writing your resume, do not list just duties in your bullets. Duties are not bad things, but they may not be the most important information to put in the document. Bullet points can be up to 2 lines long, so think in terms of marketable skills that transfer to the job and what you want the prospective employer to know about you based on your experience. Experience does not necessarily require that you were paid. If you volunteered your time, but the experience is relevant to your goal, then definitely add that to the experience section. Start every bullet point with a strong action verb and then explain the result or accomplishment. Please note that the education section comes before experience while you are completing your degree or if you are a recent graduate. Once you've established your career, education will be the last section of your resume. Now let's discuss the information you provide in your bullets. Don't focus on duties. They're not bad things, but they may not be relevant to your current goal. Instead, think about the skills you used and the purpose of what you did. Look at your experience with a fresh eye and identify the marketable skills. My colleague calls marketable skills suitcase skills. You pack them up and carry them with you to the next job or career. Any skill or ability that will go with you is a marketable skill, and you'll want to emphasize that information in your bullets. Whenever possible, quantify your accomplishments. Numbers, dollar signs, and percentages draw the eye down the page. For example, you can discuss the number of donations you brought in. So a good bullet would say, assisted director in garnering donations in the amount of $45,000 for events benefiting children with cystic fibrosis. If you cannot quantify your accomplishments, qualify them. Show how what you did was good for the employer. Words like excellent, excellently, efficient, and efficiently are good qualifiers. Qualifying words will generally be adjectives like excellent or adverbs like excellently. If you use this formula to create your bullets, it will help you provide meaningful content with relevant facts about your knowledge, skills, and experience. The formula for a good bullet is action verb plus example plus result. Use a variety of action verbs to show the range of skills you possess. In this example, the action verb is collaborated. Here is an example of a good bullet with an action verb. Give specifics as to what you did in the position. These details will make you unique. Collaborated with colleagues is a very basic bullet that really doesn't provide much information. State what you achieved from your example. Give specifics about what you did. These will make you unique. Each bullet is getting better, but there is still more to add. On this slide, we have a better bullet. State what you achieved from your example. What was the purpose of doing what you did? What was the result? So, collaborated with 4 colleagues to develop plans is better, but there's more work to be done to improve the bullet. Remember that you want to show the prospective employer what you have done that is relevant to them. There is no employer in the universe who will say, "Don't worry, spend all the money you want." So reducing costs is a marketable skill that will transfer to any employer. So this bullet is an achievement statement starting with an action verb, then comes the example and the result. Collaborated with 4 colleagues to develop plans that effectively used marketable resources and reduced cost by 25%. This bullet contains both a qualifier and a quantifier. If you are currently in a job, use present tense for the bullets that describe that position. For example, provide in-depth written reports on sales goals. Provide is present tense. If you are no longer in that position, use past tense verbs for the bullets. For example, delivered in-depth written reports on weekly sales goals. Delivered is past tense. Again, don't list duties in the bullets. What did you do that will transfer to your current career goal? List accomplishments and achievements that will demonstrate your value to the prospective employer. Identify key words and skills the prospective employer wants by looking at many job descriptions for the type of jobs you are seeking. There are many ways to format the sections on your resume. Here are 2 possible ways to present your skills section. These are not the only ways to do it, but these are 2 good formats because they utilize white space and make it easy to read. As with all your information, identify what is most important to the prospective employer. Do not list information that's not relevant or skills that are out of date. Be careful of adding languages to your skills. This is definitely a place you want to qualify your abilities. Do not state that you are fluent in a language if you are not able to carry on a conversation easily in that language. Use phrases such as basic knowledge of, read, write, and speak, conversational in. These types of phrases indicate an ability and willingness to learn, but do not overstate your abilities. Many employers will conduct an interview in a language that you state you're fluent in, so be careful. If the job requires a specific type of skill or knowledge, emphasize your willingness to learn in the cover letter. There are many ways to format a resume. There are an infinite number of ways to present your information. There is no one-size-fits-all resume, and there is no perfect format that is guaranteed to get you a job. These are possible sections you can add to your resume: academic projects, languages, leadership experiences, organizations or involvement, volunteer experience, honors and awards, and finally certifications. Present the sections of the resume in the order that best presents your knowledge and skills. If you're a new graduate, you can put your education first and then experience if it's relevant. If your experience is not relevant, put academic projects after education to showcase your skills and knowledge. If you're seeking an internship or you just graduated, use academic projects to demonstrate knowledge that doesn't show up in your experience section. Give the project a name and put 2 or 3 bullet points with it, focusing on relevant knowledge and skills. Leadership experience is a great way to show your management abilities and willingness to take on responsibility. You can present your volunteer experience just as you would paid experience, especially if it is relevant to your career goal. You can find keywords in the job description, company website, and industry websites or publications. Also, you may want to explore the job descriptions on ONET, www.onetonline.org. ONET is a government website that has a detailed job description of many job titles recognized by the U.S. Department of Labor. I have a few final suggestions for you. First, there is no need to mention a disability in a resume. Once you have the interview, you can decide when is the best time to disclose a disability. You can discuss your strategy for disclosing a disability with a University Career Center counselor or with a counselor from Student Disability Services. Second, don't print your resume front and back. Employers will never think to check the back of a page. If you print front and back, they don't see the back page and will miss out on half of your information. Keep the resume to 1 page, if at all possible. And finally, remember to double and triple check for spelling and grammatical errors, and make use of all the University Career Center services to help you prepare for that internship or job search. Keep in mind that the Career Center also provides services to alumni without cost. If you are on campus, we invite you to our office located in Wiggins Complex at 18th and Flint Avenue. Our front door faces 19th Street, but you can also enter through Sam's West and then follow the signs to the reception area. Remember that you can make an in-person, phone, or video appointment to work with our knowledgeable and friendly career counselors. Please look at our website for a list of all upcoming events and webinars and more online resources. You can make an in-person phone or video appointment by calling 806-742-2210 for a 30-minute or 1-hour appointment to discuss your resume, cover letter, and job search needs. Utilize the Higher Red Raiders job database to find jobs and information that employers have listed with the Career Center. These include internships, on and off campus, full-time and part-time jobs. Thank you for listening.